12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
City News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the City Prime News. My name is Caleb Kuda.
And I am Inosafo.
Coming up, jurors in the Ashanti region to return to courts from Monday, November 20, following the intervention of the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu.
Think of those who are on bail, the trauma of having to keep coming to court. Think of all these people and remember your salary will go at the end of the month. So come back to work tomorrow or Monday. Clap for me that in November, Ghana will put money in your account. Come back to work on Monday.
Also coming up, Media Coalition Against Galamsey and pressure group Occupy Ghana to stage a prior protest to compel Parliament to repeal the legislative instrument that allows for mining in forest reserves.
We can make it a prayer protest. We'll call on the Christian Council, call on the Pentecostal Council, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, the Office of the Chief Imam. So as we go with our protest and march and present our petitions, we pray we do it in a prayer way.
Still ahead, British High Commissioner to Ghana, Her Excellency Harriet Thompson commends management of Citi FM and Citi TV for relief campaign for affected victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage. Meanwhile, members of Parliament for Sojaman and Afram Plains take delivery of truckloads of relief items from Citi FM and Citi TV as part of the station's sustained relief support campaign.
We are grateful to Citi FM that you have been specific and you have targeted what will help the people go back on the water.
This news is also live on all our partner stations across the country. If you're in the Western region, you're listening to us live on Premier 100.5 FM and Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi. In the Bono region, we are live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, this is Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. If you're in the Volta region, hello to you on Holy 98.5 FM in Aflao. In the Northern region, we are live on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi, and in the Upper East region, this is Word 88.3 FM in Zorungu. In the Upper West region, this is Bugli Radio 88.6 FM in Wa. We're also live on YouTube on CityTube.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for choosing us. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. And Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu has intervened to end a strike by jurors in the Ashanti region. After a meeting with the jurors, an agreement was reached for them to resume work on Monday, November 20, 2023. The jurors had abandoned their duties since the beginning of November due to unpaid salary allowances, urging the government to address their concerns before they return to court. Legal proceedings, including cases of murder and other high-profile matters, were disrupted, causing a backlog in the region. The Chief Justice, during her visit to Kumasi to address the issue, acknowledged that plans were already in place to meet with the jurors, but expedited the process following a City News report highlighting their plight.
Ghana is paying you. I want to plead with you to appreciate the burden on Mother Ghana. Ghana is paying you, and you are not giving Ghana the service that is paying you over there, wherever you are working, whichever institution you are working in. Ghana is paying you for being there. You are not going there. Then Ghana will give you more money for coming here. And you say you won't come here because you've got that one, but you haven't got this one. As for justice, it's skills. We weigh and weigh. I put it to you that this is not fair. If anybody thinks this is fair, I'll give you the microphone and you tell me why it's fair. I know you said that where your jobs are, you are staying, most of you are staying closer to your jobs, but with all due respect, you would have gone to your jobs 5 days a week. Are you here 5 days a week? I want us to do some balancing and be fair to our nation. Think of the remand prisoners. Think of the prison service cost in bringing people to court. Think of those who are on bail, the trauma of having to keep coming to court. Think of all these people and remember your salary will go at the end of the month. So come back to work tomorrow or Monday. Clap for me that in November, Ghana will put money in your account. Come back to work on Monday. And as for your allowances, none of you has been able to tell me that you lived without your allowances ever. It came. It just came late. Hello, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that your allowances stop coming late.
Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu there. Now, following the meeting with the Chief Justice, the jurors have agreed to return to work on Monday, 20th November 2023. Albert Aka is the General Foreman for jurors in the Ashanti region.
Just met Chief Justice, that's our mother. So she has asked us to return to court on Monday. And we have agreed to return to court. And as she promised, she said she's going to make sure that our allowance are paid in time. So on Monday, yes, why not? She's our mother. This is what that we were expecting long ago. And she has been in Kumasi with us. And she has even shown that she actually respects jurors in Kumasi. So that alone, we are grateful. We are grateful for her. So on Monday, we are coming. I will talk to my people on the platform, those who came and those who couldn't come, that on Monday, we are coming to court to perform our duties that the state has assigned us to perform on Monday after meeting Chief Justice. We have resolved everything. So Monday, we are coming to court.
Albert Aka is the General Foreman for jurors in the Ashanti region.
The state attorney has withdrawn previous charges against Nanapia Mensah Namwan, CEO of the defunct Men's Gold Ghana Limited, and filed new charges in court. Yvonne Atakra, the director of prosecution, cited amendments to figures in the case requiring the new charges. The case has been adjourned to December 4, 2023, to allow Namwan's legal team time to review the new charges. In response to an incident where the PRO of Men's Gold was struck, the presiding judge instructed enhanced security measures at the court entrance. The courtroom was filled to capacity with security personnel inside and outside. Meanwhile, the convener and spokesperson for the affected Men's Gold customers, Fred Forson, after the hearing, expressed confidence in the state to fight the case.
The case has been postponed to 4th December in the morning to be continued. And the various reasons were given. So we shall come back on the 4th of December. There's one thing that we want to put across. On the issue about the 2.5 million Ghana cedis, there is a group that is agitating that that money should be shared to them. This morning we have petitioned the Attorney General, the Honorable Attorney General, that they should not succumb to any pressure from NAM1 or any of his groups. We believe that every customer is entitled to his money, and NAM1 doesn't have the right to determine who should be paid first or last. So we agree with the Attorney General and the police authority for the decision they have taken that the money be kept in an account at the Bank of Ghana. We want to urge all customers to exercise maximum restraint as we fight for this money. And we want to encourage Nana Appiah Mensah to bring more of the money in his custody, because the money belongs to us.
You heard the convener and spokesperson for the affected Men's Gold customers, Fred Forson.
The Media Coalition Against Galamsey and the pressure group Occupy Ghana have announced plans to conduct a prayer protest aimed at encouraging Parliament to enact regulations prohibiting mining in Ghana's forest reserves. This decision comes in response to public concerns about the alleged granting of mining rights to High Street Mining Company Limited for operations in the Kakum National Park in the Central Region. Despite refutations by the Minerals Commission, the convener for the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, Engineer Ken Ashigbe, stated that legislation is crucial to prevent future encroachments by mining companies.
Well, thank you very much. So what the plans, we are currently in the process of getting our lawyers to craft a memo for us to go to Parliament. So beyond the statement that Citi, as part of the coalition, will carry, and hopefully Parliament will listen. We know that they might tell us that they won't act on just, the statement we've issued. So we are planning to get this memo to Parliament. And then once we do, we would also, beyond that, if that does not make, do what it ought to do, we also are contemplating a protest where we can rally Ghanaians together. And the thought I have in my head, which I'm discussing with my colleagues, is we can make it a prayer protest to call on the Christian Council, call on the Pentecostal Council, the Catholic Bishops Conference, the office of the Chief Imam. So as we go with our protest and march and present our petitions, we pray we do it in a prayer way so that it's also a solemn. It's more, it's the discipline and all of that on it, and then also calling on the higher authority that we all believe in to also intervene whilst we as human beings do what we ought to do to bring pressure on government. You see the way because we passed this particular piece of regulation, now you have a High Street Ghana Limited having the audacity to say that they want to get into the Kakum Forest Reserve and also when degraded like the way Akonta mining went into the Tanon Mineral Forest Reserve and the degradation, the same way Heritage Imperial giving prospecting licenses also go into a forest reserve and destroy it. We cannot be living as if, we are the last people to live on this land called Ghana, and after us, our children and our children's children are also not going to.
That was Engineer Ken Ashigbe. He is the convener for the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, and together with pressure group Occupy Ghana, they are announcing plans to conduct a prayer protest aimed at encouraging Parliament to enact regulations prohibiting mining in Ghana's forest reserves. This is still Citi Prime News live from a studio in Adabraka in Accra. Some stories we've brought you so far. Jurors in the Ashanti region to return to courts from Monday, November 20, following the intervention of the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu.
Let's do some more stories now. And aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management are considering resuming a 32-hour picketing at the Finance Ministry to pressure the ministry into releasing their locked-up funds. Dissatisfied with assurances from the Finance Minister for the Securities and Exchange Commission to continue engaging with the official liquidator and clients to establish a bailout framework, the group feels compelled to take action. Charles Nyame, the convener of the group, expressed disappointment, stating that numerous engagements with government officials have produced.
For food and jobs, it's more of private sector led than government. Government plays a facilitation role. And for me, government cannot abdicate its responsibility to ensure that there's enough food for the people of this country by merely playing a facilitation role. And as I indicated, and I stand to be proven wrong, that we should find any developed country that does not subsidize its agricultural sector. So where is the subsidy in agriculture in Ghana under the phase 2? So government cannot run away from subsidizing agriculture. If we had problems with our subsidy of agriculture in the past, that is, it did not go well for us. We simply have to put in measures that will ensure that any pesewa, any cedi we put in agriculture, we get value for it.
Edward Kariwe is the General Secretary of the Ghana Agricultural Workers Union, GAU.
Caleb, let's bring us that story where aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management are considering resuming a 32-hour picketing at the Finance Ministry to pressure the ministry into releasing their locked-up funds.
They had made us believe that there was going to be a consensus burden in solving our problems. That's our payment. After the first meeting, we play several calls. We've written more than 10 letters to the ministry, to the minister. No responses. That is the reason why we are going to embark on 32-hour protest coming 28. We are done with the police. We have agreed on the dates. So on the 28th of November, we are starting, that is going to be Tuesday, we are starting 32-hour continuous protest at the Finance Ministry. And nothing is going to stop us.
And you believe that would bring back your locked up funds?
Let's wait and see. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Charles Nyame is convener for aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management.
The Ministry of Health is urging all ECOWAS member states to help adopt a collaborative approach in addressing public health surveillance challenges. This appeal was made at the ECOWAS Regional Surveillance Digitization Workshop aimed at establishing a resilient digital system to enhance health surveillance. Dr. Ignatius Awinibono, Chief Program Officer of Allied Health at the Health Ministry, who spoke on behalf of the Sector Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu, highlighted the need for improving surveillance in response to the impactful lessons from COVID-19 pandemic.
And when our world is currently interconnected, and yet our challenges in public health surveillance and outbreak management remain daunting. The COVID-19 pandemic has underscored the critical need for robust health systems and must amplify the call for innovation in how we monitor and respond to public health threats. The Regional Center for Surveillance and Disease Control, established under the West Africa Health Organization, represents our collaborative resolve to strengthen our defenses against such threats. Born out of the lessons of the Ebola outbreak, the Regional Center has become a symbol of our regional solidarity and our commitment to health security.
That was the Chief Program Officer of Allied Health at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Ignatius Awinibono, speaking on behalf of the Sector Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu.
The National Peace Council has underscored the importance of unity among Ghanaians, highlighting its role in promoting tolerance and social cohesion. This emphasis comes in commemoration of the International Day of Tolerance 2023, with the theme Creating a More Inclusive World. The day serves as a reminder that tolerance is a crucial element in building peace within societies. In a press statement, the National Peace Council stressed that fostering national unity in Ghana requires a collective effort, urging Ghanaians to actively discourage favoritism based on religion, political affiliation, or ethnicity to prevent discord.
Now, the Ghana Institute of Planning emphasizes the importance of learning lessons from the aftermath of the Akosombo Dam spillage, which has displaced thousands of residents in parts of the eastern Greater Accra and Volta regions. The association suggests that collaborative planning and engineering solutions, such as the construction of a multi-purpose dam upstream at Paolugu and the creation of detention ponds along the channel of the flow, are crucial for the ongoing resettlement planning efforts by the government. The president of the Ghana Institute of Planning, Muhammad Al-Hassan Damba, stressed the necessity of including all stakeholders in the resettlement planning efforts during an interview with Citi News.
We think that in this case, we can assist very much in the resettlement planning effort. There are situations where we simply have to do reconstruction. That will mean that we are not entirely moving the settlements affected from where they currently are. We may be moving part of them or maintaining them. Usually, the buffer, the space that is supposed to be reserved between a water body like the Akosombo Lake and the nearest settlement is supposed to be 90 meters. Now, with 90 meters, I don't think any settlement would have been saved in this case because the water spread beyond that, which means we require other solutions to complement planning solutions. And that is where our colleague engineers, for example, come in. Where upstream the Volta Lake, in places like Paolugu, we can have a multi-purpose dam to retain much of the water so we have less flowing downstream and causing the damage that is caused. If by our estimation, of course, these things are not just done, they are done with strict scientific and logical engineering computations.
In a related development, ahead of government's plan to commission the Apiate reconstruction project, which is over 90% complete, the Ghana Institute of Planning is admonishing residents of the area to manage their expectations to help them adjust to their new settlements.
Apiate reconstruction project is made progress. It's almost completed, and there are plans to even commission it. I think this month, November or next month. So it's done. The job is done. The planning has long been done. The construction long started, and it's made progress. All the structures are roofed. The internal works, I must say, are almost done. We have some external works also going on. And so, like I showed you from the images, a substantial amount of work has been done. Some over 90% is done. And so we're only waiting for the day that an announcement would come that the commissioning of the project is going to happen. But let me say that we also have those whose structures didn't totally collapse. They suffered various levels of structural defects that require rehabilitation. That is also being done with the support of the Architectural Engineering Services Limited as the consultant on the project. With
Mohammed Al-Hassan Damba is president of the Ghana Institute of Planning. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from a studio in Adabaka here in Accra. My name is Caleb Kuda, doing this with Eno Safo. Still ahead, Parliamentary Select Committee on Mines and Energy locked up in a closed-door meeting with the management of Electrochem Ghana following a shooting incident in Ada that led to one fatality and several injuries. Stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner. Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Mines and Energy is currently in a closed-door meeting with the management of Electrochem Ghana, a salt mining firm. This meeting was directed by the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei-Wusu, who instructed the Committee on Lands and Forestry and Mines and Energy to investigate the leasehold agreement that allowed Electrochem Ghana to conduct salt mining in Adam. The directive comes in the wake of a conflict between Electrochem Ghana Limited and residents of Ada on November 6, resulting in a shooting incident in Sege, Greater Accra region, leading to one fatality and several injuries. The committee's visit to Electrochem Ghana's salt mining site aims to gather necessary details for their investigations into the matter. Joining me on the phone lines now is our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okine. Hello, Ni. If you can hear me, good afternoon. Welcome to the Citi Prime News. What have you picked up so far?
Good afternoon, Caleb. So this afternoon, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Mines and Energy has paid a visit to Electrochem Ghana, which is a salt mining firm at Ada in the Greater Accra region. And if you would recall, just a few weeks ago, there was a conflict between some residents of Ada, and then also Electrochem Ghana officials. And this was as a result of salt mining at Tofloko, within the Tofloko enclave. So based on the crisis that happened, we witnessed a shooting incident which led to one person dying and then also several others getting injured. If you recall, the Member of Parliament for Sege, Christian Otutei, made a statement on the floor of Parliament condemning the incident and also calling on the IGP to investigate thoroughly into the matter to bring an end to the whole crisis. And based on the statement that was made, we had reaction from the Member of Parliament for Adar Comfort Doyo, who also made a statement to the fact that none of the MPs for the area was consulted when Parliament was ratifying the agreement to authorize Electrochem to mine salt within the Adar enclave. So she indicated that none of the MPs was consulted whatsoever based on the decision that was taken by the House. So after the discussions went on in Parliament, the first Deputy Speaker, Joseph Oseo, who directed that the Mines and Energy Committee as well as the Lands and Forestry Committee should investigate the matter and ascertain whether the leasehold agreement that authorized Electrochem Ghana to embark on salt mining, and whether it should be amended to ensure that part of the concession, that's the salt mining concession, is offered the residents of Adar so that Electrochem Ghana could also have a portion to also conduct their business. Because over the period, we've had residents of Adar complaining that their livelihoods are being taken away from them. So government must intervene to ensure that a portion of the concession is offered the residents to mine so that Electrochem Ghana could also mine. So based on that, we've had a committee, as I indicated earlier, here at Electrochem Ghana, precisely at Adar, and there's a closed-door meeting ongoing to ascertain what exactly the matter or the issue is, so that it will help them to be able to, put up their report after an investigation into the whole incident, Caleb.
Right. That means you are in Adar. What is the ambience in the community like? What do you pick up from the people?
So we are currently at the mining site, the salt mining site of Electrochem Ghana. So there's management meeting with the committee members. That's the Mines and Energy Committee members. It's a closed-door meeting, so the media is not allowed entry. But we've seen that salt mining is still ongoing. Heavy-duty equipment on site. Salt mining, as I said, is ongoing, and then the machines are moving up and down just to conduct their regular business. So it's a calm atmosphere here at the Electrochem mining site.
Many thanks to you, Ni Ayikwe Okai. Thank you for that report. We'll bring you subsequent updates on this particular story later.
Let's move on to some other stories now. And the University Teachers Association of Ghana has issued a one-week ultimatum to the government to address concerns regarding their conditions of service. Originally planning to commence a strike over the non-payment of book and research allowances and other service conditions, UTAG has opted to delay the strike to allow further negotiations with the government. However, President of UTAG, Professor Mamudu Akudugu, warned that the government must demonstrate commitment to addressing their concerns within the stipulated time frame, or they may proceed with the withdrawal of services in all public universities.
Yesterday we had a meeting with the National Labour Commission, and we are given 21-day notice for government or the employer to address all our concerns. And so the National Labour Commission invited us. We presented our case, and the directive to government was that we should try to re-engage and do the negotiations for our conditions of service within 1 week. So we've been given 1 week to do further engagement. So we have, by that, and with respect that we have for the national institutions, including the National Labour Commission, we agreed that we will extend our strike notice by 1 week. We made our case that the employer has not been very serious with the negotiation process, because we started in negotiating since June, and we have since met only 4 times. And those 4 times that we've met, we've always been dealing with just 1 or 2 items per meeting. And so that has created tension on our campuses. And now that the National Labour Commission has given us 1 week, we're appealing to the employer to ensure that people with the relevant mandate come for that meeting.
Professor Mamudu Akudugu is the president of University Teachers Association of Ghana.
Citi FM and Citi TV has contributed to relief efforts for persons displaced by floods by donating 2 trucks filled with relief items to 2 constituencies in the eastern region. This initiative is part of the media house's broader campaign to assist residents affected by the dam spillage in the Lower Volta area and other regions across the country. The recent donations were presented to the members of Parliament for Esuojaman and Afram Plains North, both constituencies whose residents have been impacted by the spillage. Member of Parliament for Afram Plains North, Betty Crosby Mensah, spoke on the City Breakfast Show, highlighting their challenges.
Most often when we are faced with this kind, the people usually move to higher grounds. Okay. But unfortunately, this is not what we are experiencing now. So they are currently lodging in churches, in their schools. And in fact, yesterday I was in a conversation with one of my assembly members and I said, okay, so if I happen to want to come visit, how do I? Because usually when I go to my island communities, my boat lands at a particular place. I walk for almost 30 minutes to get to the community. Wow. And here is a situation that all this way has been flooded. And the water level is not so deep that I can use a boat, which means that I have to walk through the water to even assess my people. So if I happen to want to come and support them with some logistics, how do I do that? And then the gentleman said, even where currently they are lodging, that is the school, still the water is around that area. But the hope is that because that is the only concrete building, if I must put it, that is the only concrete building available, and that is why they are currently in there. So it looks like, unlike our brothers and sisters from the Volta region who have at least some support, these are people with barely no support at all. And so they're just depending on one another, moving from one island community to the other just to survive, and whilst they are waiting to hear something positive from the government. But let me put it on record. I also heard the VRA saying that most of the island communities within my constituency are illegal settlers, or they are illegal settlements. And I must say that these are communities that are identified by the Electoral Commission as electoral areas and as polling centers where voting takes place. And so if they are recognized and they are recorded as such, and when government or the Ghana Statistical Service is taking census, they approach them, they go to those areas to go and take data. It means that as a country, we recognize that there are some settlements in there or out there. However, currently VRA is saying that they are illegal, and so when it comes to even the communique that we're talking about, it didn't reach communities such as my community. So we didn't hear anything of such because we felt that we were not going to be affected. But unfortunately, this is the situation that the people of Afram Plains are faced with.
Betty Nanefua Crosby Mensah is Member of Parliament for Afram Plains North. Now, the Member of Parliament for Esuojaman, Thomas Nyarko Ampem, after receiving the donation, spoke to City News.
We are grateful, and what I'm personally excited about with this consignment is that we are having fishing nets. Everybody that has donated earlier on has brought the usual food items, but yes, they need them, but they also need support to go back to work. And so the fishing nets will be the kind of support that can help them continue to earn a living. And that is what the people are calling for at this point in time. And so we are grateful to Citi FM that you have been specific and you have targeted what will help the people go back on the water to get us the fish that we all eat. And so we are grateful. On Sunday, we will meet the whole communities and further distribute these items to them, and we'll send evidence to you as well.
Thomas Nyarko Ampem is MP for Esuojaman.
The British High Commissioner to Ghana, Harriet Thompson, has revealed the allocation of £250,000 to address the immediate and long-term impacts of the Akosombo Dam spillage. The funds will be directed through the Commission's Interagency Working Group on Emergency. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, the High Commissioner praised the relief campaign by Citi FM and Citi TV for the affected victims of the spillage. Additionally, she disclosed an ocean partnership program for marine scientists in the UK and Ghana aiming to support Ghana's blue economy.
I mean, the first thing to say is to congratulate you for the work that you're doing on raising funds to help all of those people who've been so terribly affected, to resettle people who need resettling. The UK is working through the Interagency Working Group on Emergencies, and through that group we'll be contributing $250,000 to tackle both the immediate but also the long-term effects of the spillage.
That's wonderful.
We know that when there's flooding, the disease that comes afterwards from the lack of clean water, that can be terrible, the impact. So that's some of what that funding will go to support. And we've recently launched our Ocean Country Partnership Programme, which brings together the best in marine science from the UK and from Ghana, getting marine scientists to share their experience and work to tackle marine pollution, protect marine biodiversity, and importantly, support the blue economy, which is so important for Ghana.
Harriet Thompson is the British High Commissioner to Ghana.
Residents of Seva in the Keta municipality in the Volta region are grappling with a severe shortage of water. The situation has escalated to a point where daily life has been significantly disrupted, and locals are now calling for urgent intervention from both local and national authorities. The following report has more.
Now, this is an island community surrounded by the Keta Lagoon. If you turn 360, you have the Keta Lagoon surrounding you. Yet, in the middle of the water body that surrounds them, they are unable to get quality, potable water to drink. So previously, they were relying on water connected from Anyako, which came to this particular community. But for some reason, the pipes died, and therefore, there was no way they were getting water directly through their pipes to this community. What that meant was that they now have to fetch water all the way from Abo. So there were tankers that were moving water from Abo, which is about 30 or so minutes from here, into this particular community for sale to them. It was explained to me that a gallon of water, the popular yellow gallon, the Kufuor gallon, sells for 22 Ghana cedis in this particular community. What that means is it is a lot of stress on the pockets of the individuals of this particular community. Okay, so you have basically empty gallons here. Some of them are empty. The gallons are even broken. You can see holes, in the gallons. This one is full of water, and this one also has water. This one also has water. This one is also full of water. This one is empty. You can see there are holes in it. So let me go now and speak to the young woman who lives in this particular house. It's a 3-bedroom house with an not iron. This is more like slate roofing over it. And she'll tell me basically what her name is and how she's able to survive in this environment. Where do you get your water from?
With the rainwater.
Rainwater?
Yes.
So you collected rainwater and filled them?
In the gallons.
I see. How long did it take you to fill all of these gallons?
When it rains, then I have to fill in the gallon to the level that it will reach.
I see. How do you do that? How do you collect the water?
We'll go to the back. When it's raining, then it will be dropping. Then we'll put the distance under it.
You put what under it?
The bowls under it.
The bowls under it. So she will basically show me how they collect the water from the roofing sheet. At least we need to know that. Okay, we're going to the back of the building, right? Okay, so let's go to the back of the building.
When it's raining, then I'll put the bowl under the roofing.
You put the bowl under the roofing. How do you do that? Where? Like here? Which part?
Put it.
Where? You put it here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So when it's raining, the water falls on the roof and then descends straight into this bowl. And that's how you collect your water. Yes. How often does it rain here? How many times does it rain in a month or in a week?
Sometimes it can rain once or twice in a month.
In a month? I see. You were born 20-something years ago. Since you were born, did you see pipe ever work or run with water in this particular community? Come closer.
No, please.
You've never seen your pipe work?
Yes.
And you are 20 years old?
Yes.
Wow, how does that make you feel? And how were you able to go through that to attend basic school and then eventually make it to secondary school?
We have been managing like that. When we don't have water, there's a car who brings water to the town so that we will buy.
I see. How does that make you feel, the fact that you're having to fight through every possibility to get water for your household?
It makes me sad because how I'll carry the gallons on my head going and coming there, I don't like it at all. It's a stress for me.
Notice that your walls, something is eating into the walls. Look at that. You can see what has become a rough surface all over the wall, most likely because of the very salty nature, I guess, of the water here surrounding this community. But what's your own understanding of what's happening to the wall?
It's because of the salt in the soil.
The salt in the soil?
Yes.
So do you fear at some point that this house might collapse on you? Because look at the house. The structural integrity of this building is in question.
Yes. Because I'm afraid how the salt is in the soil is very high. So it's fortunately that the walls can fall anytime.
Moving story of having to do with the reality of the people here. Getting water for their homes is a major issue here. Essentially, water in this community is an essential, critical commodity which they don't have in abundance. The taps don't flow here. Previously, they were flowing in excess of 12 or 15 years ago, but the taps have run dry because water no longer flows through the taps in Anyako, the neighboring community, which means that they now depend on tankers that bring in water all the way from Abo, which is a town about 30 or so kilometers, not 30 kilometers, about 30 minutes or so from here. And that means that when the water comes in those tankers, they go to the tanks to buy them for 3 cedis per gallon in some cases, or 2 cedis per gallon. That is the situation here, and they are asking for urgent support, urgent assistance to turn their situation around. Richard Delasky, Seva.
And here in the studio, I am Caleb Kuda with Eno Safo. Still ahead, Ghana's Black Stars commence their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifications campaign at 4 p.m. tonight at the Kumasi Babayara Sports Stadium. We have all the details for you after this break.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
So much goes on in the news cycle that can leave you rather overwhelmed. At the tail end of a busy working day, as you're heading home, it's time to update you on the biggest stories thus far, giving you a perspective from the real newsmakers. Eyewitness News gives you nothing but clarity and authenticity. Catch Eyewitness News at 5:30 p.m. daily from Monday to Friday, only on 97.3 Citi FM.
Happy birthday to you. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Are you ready to party? We're lighting up the city on the 24th of December 2023 with the biggest all-white outdoor party, Situation 2023. It's time to unwind as the year draws to a close with a mix of delicious cocktails, good food, and the best DJs to give you back-to-back hits to keep you on your feet amid some incredible performances by the Chin Chin Band and not your regular DJ Mingo. The dynamic duo Keche, the crooner Aquabua, the rap doctor Ochiami Kwame, and the spirit-filled Perez music. Get ready to let it all down and party your stresses away on Christmas Eve at the Situation All White Outdoor Party. Date 24th December 2023. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all white affair. Call 0205 973 973 or 0558 973 973 for your table bookings and seats. Make reservations now and come have an unrivaled experience with the most extraordinary party to end all parties this Christmas Eve. The Situation All White Outdoor Party 2023 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. The Deputy Ranking Member of the Education Committee of Parliament, Clement Apak, has expressed disagreement with the proposed fee hike by tertiary institution lecturers. This comes after Dr. Kojo Opoku, a development economist at the University of Ghana, endorsed increased fees to ease financial pressures on public universities. Speaking to Citi News, Clement Apak accentuated the government's responsibility to provide resources for effective teaching and learning. He cautioned that raising fees could place a financial burden on students. In addition, Clement Apak proposes that university authorities retain 100% of their internally generated funds. He recommends that the government streamlines its expenditures, explaining this approach would facilitate the improvement of infrastructure within the education sector.
Yes, I believe so. One of them is for us to allow the universities to keep 100% of their internally generated funds. The second option is to reach out to the corporate world and other well-to-do Ghanaians who can come in, establish endowment funds to which contributions can be made to help improve the conditions of the universities in the area of infrastructure. And of course, the biggest contributor, as far as I am concerned, ought to be government. And if government has the political will to cut down on its size and to allocate resources to where they are most needed, and I would say education is the sector that ought to get the most resources, as well as health and agri, I think that we can address these matters.
Clement Apak is Deputy Ranking Member of the Education Committee of Parliament. Now, Ghana's Black Stars commenced their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification campaign today, facing Madagascar in Kumasi at 4 p.m. at the Papaya Sports Stadium. Speaking on the significance of a strong start in the qualifiers, Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton says the team has redeemed themselves after the disappointing October friendlies against the USA and Mexico. Hughton acknowledged that securing a victory over Madagascar at the beginning of the qualifying series holds utmost importance for him as the head coach.
The pressure that I'm under as head coach, that I'm always under, is to win football matches. And what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to win football matches with good performances, score lots of goals and concede none. This is heaven. But we can't always have that. Ultimately, the most important thing is to make sure that we win. This is a group where we want to qualify. And the only way we can qualify is to finish this group in the best way. And the best way is to win football matches. So we are very conscious. We're very conscious of the demands of a public and what they want to see. But around that one, still, always the most important thing is getting the wins that we need. With this question, my responsibilities are always is to get the correct results I need for this team, for the association, for the country, and for our supporters. It's the same in every game. The first game, the second game, the third game, nothing changes. Our responsibility as coaches is to get good results. That's all.
Now, my colleague Gabby Ofair has put together this report ahead of the game. Listen. All right, we'll bring you that report shortly, but Gabby joins me here in the studio to tell us what to expect from the game between Ghana and Madagascar in Kumasi. What's the team in Madagascar called?
Barrier.
Okay. Tell us about the game.
All right, thank you, Caleb. So it's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, and the Black Stars will take on Madagascar later today at 4 p.m.
Right.
So the other countries the Black Stars will face is there's Comoros, there's Chad, there's a Central African Republic, Madagascar themselves. So they're kickstarting their qualifying series against Madagascar. I mean, they faced Madagascar 5 times at different levels. So the COSAFA Cup, the African Cup of Nations. The last time we played them was June 2023. And it was under head coach Chris Hughton. And I mean, that game ended in a goalless draw. And then after that, they beat Central African Republic at Kumasi to qualify to the AFCON. So Hughton has a fair idea of who they are facing later today. Because like I said, he's faced Madagascar before. And he ended in a goalless draw. I mean, Madagascar themselves, they've not played at the World Cup before. Their best shot at a major tournament was at the 2019 AFCON in Egypt when they got to the quarterfinals. And that's where they had to pick up a very big win against one of the top sides in Africa, that's Egypt. So, I mean, there are no minnows in African football, especially if you want to go with what happened in Cameroon, I mean, at the AFCON, when we got kicked out at Comoros. So I think it's a big test, you want to put it. We cannot underrate them. Hughton himself knows that, especially on the back of the pressure that is he's being shown after the October friendlies against US and Mexico. So I think that it's a big game tonight.
Now, the Black Stars has not been doing so well, especially considering our last 2 friendlies with Mexico and the USA.
Yeah.
So what are our chances tonight?
Well, I think that, I mean, I've had this question posed to me, and I think that I think the Black Stars will win.
Okay.
I think we'll see a reaction from the team, especially on the back of the friendlies. Look, if you listen to the reports coming from Kumasi, especially from the camp of the players, they say that they have to react. And they don't want to start the World Cup qualifying series with a loss. If you look at the Black Stars, their performance in Kumasi, they've not lost under Hughton. I mean, they beat Angola 1-0. It was down to Antoine Semenyo. It wasn't a good football. It wasn't flamboyant. It wasn't expansive. It wasn't nice. But they did the most important thing. That's to pick up the 3 points. The last time they played it was against Central African Republic. The football also wasn't good. They beat Central African Republic by 2-1. So I think that we are going to see the same thing happening today. I don't expect to see the team playing very good football, but I think that the Black Stars will win.
What's your prediction ahead of tonight?
I think it will be a 1-0 win.
1-0?
Yes, 1-0 win for the Black Stars.
So would you eat your fufu before the game or after the game?
I mean, I'm on community duty with Nathan Kwao, so I'm good already. And I mean, regardless of the scoreline, I have to deliver. So
all right.
I mean,
you want to listen to that commentary, Gabby and Nathan will be bringing you. But let's take you to the Babayara Sports Stadium now, where my colleague Bernard Osei is bringing us updates from. Hello, Bernard.
Hi, Caleb. So At the moment, I am at the red ticketing entrance of the Babaya Sports Stadium. Not a lot of people are here, but again, you expect such an atmosphere when the game is not an hour or two into it. At the moment, it's calm. At the moment, a lot of people are wearing their red, gold, and green shirts to show support and solidarity for the Black Stars of Ghana. It hasn't been chaotic, but indeed, I can tell you that people are trooping into the stadium little by little, little by little, little by little.
I see. Now, have you spotted any of the Black Stars officials yet? And if yes, what have they been telling you?
At the moment, there hasn't been any, or I've not seen any of the Black Stars officials yet. But I can tell you for a fact that the dressing room is more clad for the players to come and wear their jerseys should they come in an hour or two. At the moment, what I have seen is officials of the National Sports Authority who are putting in place the place well for spectators and the footballers to come and journalists to come and watch and enjoy themselves here at the Babaya Sports Stadium.
Right. Now, do you have any idea of the lineup for today? I mean, with just a few hours to kick off.
Yes. So from yesterday's training session, when you look at the way the team formed in their final training session, it gives you it gave me an idea that Black Stars skipper Andrea Yu may not start. I mean, some of these things are very tricky. He may not train. He may not be in the official lineup on the day before the final training session, but sometimes they pull up a surprise on you. But at the moment, I can tell you for a fact that Andrea Yu at the moment will not start, and they prefer Mohamed Kudus, or Chris Hughton prefers Mohamed Kudus in his stead as a proper number 10. When you look at the lineup, we have Lawrence Atizigi, we have Alidu Seidu, we have Gideon Mensah, Jonathan Amate, Daniel Amate, Nicolas Opoku, Salis Abdul Samed, Majid Ashimeru, Mohamed Kudus, Iñaki Williams, and Jordan Ayew as the preferred lineup for now. But we do not know what will happen in the next hour or two. But for now, I can tell you this is what I have gathered, that this is the starting lineup for the team.
Thank you very much for your report, Bernard Osei. He joins us live from the Babaya Sports Stadium. Still with me in the studio is Gabi Ofe. Gabi, what's the ranking of the two teams going into tonight's game?
Okay, so I'll start with Madagascar. In the world, they are ranked 108th, but in Africa, they are 23rd. For the Black Stars in the world, they are 60th currently, and in Africa, they are 11th. So that's the latest FIFA rankings released.
I see.
Yes.
Bernard provided us some details. Bernard Osei, provided us some details of the lineup for tonight, and I'm excited to hear Kudus is starting. Yeah. Now, what's the breakdown? Do we have any local players on the lineup? Give us an idea.
So, we have 3 local players in the 25-man squad, quartered by Chris Hughton. So, they all play for Midyama Sporting Club because Midyama are the reigning Premier League champions. So, there's Jonathan Sowa. Jonathan Sowa, he was called in the first caller for the AFCON qualifiers against Central African Republic. He played in the friendly against Liberia here in Accra. Hughton has added 2 more call-ups. There's Abdul Hamid Fatal and also Nuruddin Abdullahi, but I don't see them starting today. I think that Chris Hughton will want to stick with his trusted 11.
I see.
His trusted 11 in the sense that he will want to rely on his last 11 he used against CAR, because look, this is the World Cup. You don't want to throw in players in moments where they begin to be a bit jittery, because it's I think it's the biggest game for the Black Stars, especially, like I said, Chris Hughton is under so much pressure. He would want to start on the right note, and he said that himself. So I think that Kudus has turned out to be a fan favorite, together with Enes Niamora. I think these 2 players are beginning to take up responsibilities. They are beginning to step up when it matters. The last time we played, it was these 2 players combining to give Ghana a 2-1 win in Kumasi. And when you're in Kumasi and you see them, you see the excitement on the faces of the fans when Kudus is, every time he's being given the ball. It tells you that, people even tag him as the Ghana Messi because of what he does on the pitch. But